The dirt was still fresh on my hands when my phone rang. 2 hours after burying my son. 2 hours after watching the last piece of my heart lowered into the ground. The voice on the phone was trembling. "Ma'am, come to my office right now. Please don't tell anyone." It was my son's teacher, and the tone in her voice made my knees weaken. I drove to the school in silence. Rain tapped against the windshield like soft fingers. My whole body felt numb. I had cried so much I thought I had no tears left. I was wrong. When I entered her office, the first thing I saw made my breath stop. A man stood beside her desk. And I knew that face. My hands started shaking uncontrollably. "My name is Miriam, and my son Daniel was all I had." He was quiet, smart, shy, the kind of boy who never caused trouble. But 3 days ago, everything changed. He came home pale and shaking. I asked him what happened. He forced a smile. "Nothing, Mom, I'm fine." But he wasn't. I saw it in his eyes. A fear he couldn't hide. The next day, he refused to go to school. He clung to my arm when I tried to get him into the car. "Please, Mom, I don't want to go, not today, not ever." I held him. I begged him to tell me what was wrong. But he just cried in silence. And then, 2 days later, I lost him. They said it was an accident. They said children fall all the time. But I knew my boy. I knew something had pushed him to the edge. When I reached the teacher's office that day, her hands were shaking too. Miss Alder looked like she hadn't slept in days. "Thank you for coming," she said. I didn't know who else to call. I pointed at the man standing beside her. His shoulders were stiff, his eyes cold. "Who is he?" I whispered. Miss Alder swallowed hard. "This is Mr. Hayes, the school counselor, but he isn't the reason I called."
I sat daher confused.
"Then why am I here?" She reached into her drawer and pulled out a small notebook. My son's notebook. His handwriting on the cover. Daniel's safe thoughts. My heart twisted. He used to write everything in there. Dreams, jokes, fears. It was his private world. Miss Alder opened it to a page marked with a red paperclip. She pushed it toward me. Her voice cracked. "I found this inside his desk today." I read the words and felt my entire body go cold. "Mom, I'm scared. I think someone is watching me. I hear them near the lockers." Mr. H said he wants to help me, but I don't trust him. He keeps telling me not to tell anyone, not even you. If anything happens to me, please look at him first. My eyes lifted slowly and landed on the counselor, Mr. Hayes, the man who was now sweating through his shirt. "You were the last person to talk to my son, weren't you?" I said. He stepped back. "This is a misunderstanding. I told him to report bullying, that's it." But something in his voice didn't sound right. It shook, it trembled. Miss Alder looked at me and whispered, "That's not all. There's a camera." My heart thudded. "What camera?" She opened a folder. Inside were printed photos of hidden camera footage. Grainy black and white stills from the hallway outside the counselor's office. In one of the photos, my son was pressed against the wall. But not by fear alone. A hand, large and tense, was holding his shoulder. That hand belonged to the man standing in the room with us. A suffocating pressure filled the room. The air felt heavy, thick, almost impossible to breathe. Mr. Hayes cleared his throat and tried to keep his voice steady. "You are misreading the situation." I was guiding him. He needed discipline. His words angered me. My chest tightened and my hands curled into fists, guiding him. By cornering him. By turning off cameras. By telling him not to speak to his own mother. I stepped closer. "Daniel was terrified of you. I want the truth." He looked away. Jaw tight. A muscle near his eye twitched. Miss Alder spoke again. "There's more, Miriam. Students have been whispering about him. Strange hallway meetings. Closed-door sessions. But no proof. Not until now." My stomach twisted. My son had been trying to protect others too. Even as he trembled. Even as he broke. I turned back to Mr. Hayes. "What did you threaten him with? What did you say to make him so scared he couldn't sleep? Tell me." He wiped his forehead with a shaking hand. The air in the room felt colder now. He whispered, "Your son had a wild imagination. He misunderstood everything." I slammed my palm onto the desk. The sound cracked through the small office like lightning. Then explain the pictures. Explain his notebook. Explain why he wrote your initial. Explain why he begged me not to send him back to school. For a moment, a long, terrifying moment, no one spoke. The rain outside hit the windows harder. Wind rattled the frame. The silence grew heavier. Mr. Hayes finally muttered. He shouldn't have tried to record me. He should have listened. My breath stopped. He said it so low, so quietly, as if confessing to himself, not to us. Miss Alder gasped. You knew he was recording. Did you confront him? What did you do? He didn't answer. He only looked at the door, his eyes darting, planning, calculating. My voice rose. My son is dead. And you think you can walk away by staying silent? His head snapped up. There was fear in his eyes now. Real fear. The kind that reveals guilt. I stepped forward until our faces were inches apart. A part of me wanted to scream. Another part wanted to collapse on the floor. But most of all, I wanted the truth. What did you do to my boy? He backed into the filing cabinet. The metal clanged behind him. I saw his lips tremble. I saw the lie forming. I saw the truth fighting beneath his skin. He whispered. I didn't hurt him. I only yelled. I told him to stop accusing teachers. He was going to ruin things. Ruin things? What things? My voice cracked into a growl. You turned off the hallway camera. Your office lights were off.
Why?
Why were you alone with him? For 20 minutes. He opened his mouth, but no sound came out. He froze completely, like a man cornered by his own secrets. Then his expression changed. A flicker of anger. Annoyance. As if he was the victim, not Daniel. He hissed. He wouldn't stop asking questions, he said. He'd tell the principal. He wouldn't stay quiet. The world around me blurred. My heart pounded like thunder. My legs shook. Miss Alder whispered. Oh God. I blocked the door. You did something. And he tried to speak up. Didn't he? He didn't answer. But the truth was already spilling from his face. I grabbed the doorknob and held it tight. My grief turned into a strength I didn't recognize. You are not leaving this room. Miss Alder lifted her phone,
Her voice steady.
I already called the police. They heard everything. It was like watching a mask fall from a face.
His shoulders dropped.
His expression twisted.
He muttered.
I didn't mean for him to fall. He tried to run. I grabbed him. He panicked. My knees gave out. I gripped the edge of the desk. I couldn't breathe. My son. My sweet Daniel. He had been right. He had been trying to tell me. And I had not understood. The office door burst open. 2 officers rushed in. They pulled him back. He struggled, then stopped, defeated.
Caught.
As they dragged him away, he didn't look at me.
He couldn't.
He kept his head down, as if avoiding the eyes of a mother was easier than facing the truth of what he had done. The door closed and silence filled the room, a thick, painful silence. Miss Alder collapsed into her chair. Tears streamed down her face. I'm so sorry, Miriam. He trusted us. We should have protected him. I nodded. My heart was breaking. But there was something else. Relief.
Truth.
A path toward justice. A week passed. The school stayed quiet. Parents whispered in parking lots. Students cried in hallways. The truth had shaken everyone. One afternoon, a detective came to my door. He held a sealed envelope. This was recovered from the school servers. Your son recorded something the day before he died. My hands trembled as I opened it. Inside was a USB, a tiny object, but heavier than anything I had ever held. I plugged it into my laptop. My son appeared on the screen. He was sitting at his desk.
Breathing fast.
Eyes wide. But his voice, it was steady. Mom, if something happens to me, please don't think it was your fault. I know you love me, and I love you too. I just want you to be safe, and I want the truth to come out. The video ended. I held my hand over my mouth. And finally, for the first time since the funeral, my tears came from pride, not pain.
My boy,
Even in fear, had been brave, braver than anyone around him. I whispered into the quiet room. I promised Daniel the truth came out, and he will never hurt anyone again. Even in death, my son found a way to save me.